David, on one level, these allegations are ridiculous and farcical. On another level, they're very serious, because this is when people were in lockdown, people were suffering, people were dying. Where does this leave the Prime Minister? What do we know about this latest, what is it, third party that Boris has been involved in?
Who's keeping track now?
Yeah.
I mean, I think actually the total amount they're talking about throughout this period it's well in double digits at this point that apparently Sue Gray is looking at. But it's about the sort of the drip-feed nature of this, isn't it? Baroness Varsi, former chair of the Conservative Party, was on the BBC last night. She talked about this process of a death by 1,000 cuts, both to the reputation of the Prime Minister, but then more broadly, the reputation of the government and the office of the Prime Minister. And, you know, there's serious things happening around the world. We have the threat of war in Eastern Europe. We have markets in turmoil as a result. And then all of this at home really does not add up to a great picture for this government.
So is the party still behind him?
Well, that
is the million-dollar question.
That is the million-dollar question. Look, most of them are sitting on their hands until this key report comes out. Of course, some of the Prime Minister's supporters coming out very quickly last night. We had Nadine Dorries, the Culture Secretary, tweeting pretty much instantly after this report last night saying, well, you know, if you're in the office and someone gets a cake and you stand around and eat it for a couple of minutes, is that really a party? Maybe that's a clue to what the sort of defence is going to be when this report comes out, trying to spin it a little bit, to say, look, this is not a big deal. This is stuff that that was going on in an office that you would expect anyone to do. But of course, many of the public, and we know this from the polling, don't see it that way.
Very briefly, before we let you get to any time frame on the report.
Well, you know, it's anyone's guess at this point. Tomorrow, later in the week, that's what we're being briefed at the moment. But of course, you know, these things can change.